I only needed him as bait to draw the president out. Once that part of the mission was done, I moved fast and headed straight for the rooftop. A large number of officers had already arrived on the ground below. I dropped 2 smoke grenades over the edge. Then I rappelled straight down the side of the building using a rope. Using the thick smoke cloud as cover, I made it back to the hotel without a problem. I glanced at myself in the mirror and smiled. One step closer to the finish line, I stripped off every piece of my disguise and washed my face clean with cold water. Then I sat down on the couch and pulled up the next day's wind direction and speed data. That information was the key to whether I could close out the final mission. The next day, the president made his way to the hospital to visit his son. Everything was unfolding exactly according to my plan. I removed the glass panel from the balcony. I used a wind vane to read the wind direction. Then I began assembling the sniper rifle. It was a specially modified suitcase of my own design. The pull handle was the barrel. The wheels concealed the rounds. I assembled the rifle quickly using every part of the suitcase. Once the rifle was fully assembled, I began dialing in the scope. That was when I noticed the entire area around the hospital was locked down with military security. To make sure there were no errors, I fired a test shot toward the hospital entrance. The shot was noticeably off, so I made a small adjustment to the scope and fired another test shot, dead center. Right at that moment, the president's motorcade rolled up to the hospital entrance. To keep the president secure, the lead bodyguard had him stay inside the vehicle. Then he stepped out and told the team they had exactly 8 seconds to get the president inside the building. At that very moment, the president stepped out of the car surrounded by a wall of security, and I had been waiting for exactly this moment all along. One of the bodyguards raised his binoculars and locked eyes on my position. He immediately sent a team to come after me, but I stayed completely calm and began breaking down the rifle. It took me less than a minute. The rifle was a suitcase once again. I carried that suitcase through one security checkpoint after another. I quickly made my way down to street level. I had a car parked there in advance. From the moment I completed the job to the moment I drove away, it took exactly 2 minutes and 30 seconds. As I pulled out, I drove straight past the officers who were rushing in to catch me. They had absolutely no idea I was right there in front of them. I quickly pulled into a parking structure. To make sure I left zero trace behind, I moved the suitcase into a second vehicle. Then I blew up the first car. Every last piece of evidence gone.